Hi guys, me back in with another video, and today I'm going to be doing a video on DaVinci Resolve 16. So I'm going to take you through the basics of using this software and also some more in-depth techniques that may be useful for when you're actually content creating. Now the reason that I'm creating this video now is because I have had friends in the past that have shied away from creating videos and stuff like that because either they haven't got along with editing softwares and it's been too complicated to use, or it doesn't work how they want it to, or the fact that they have no clue whatsoever. Right, so first we're going to start off with the view that you open when you first open a brand new project, and the most important things we're going to look at here is these bottom tiles. So we've got the media section where you can find all of the different sections of your media, the different clips you put in, different audio, different video, everything. We've got the cut section, which is one way of editing the software. However, I don't tend to use this that much. It's a good way where you can view clips though, what you've got here. You've got the edit section right here, and this is where you'll be doing most of your editing, where I spend most of my time doing videos, as this is very useful. You can cut and trim clips into a bunch of other stuff that I'll cover later. So here we have the fusion section, which essentially allows you to edit videos and audio at the same time, which can be useful, but I personally don't tend to use this page too much with my editing. I may do as time goes by and I learn more about it. However, I don't know too much about the fusion pages. I haven't used it yet with stuff that I've been doing. And so next we're going to go on to colour, and now colour is obviously where you do your colour correction for clips, which is useful. I only really do stuff like brightness. I don't tend to edit videos, you know, for more colour, like more saturation and stuff like that, as I'm not hugely into that, as far as I'm not part of that background. I don't know too much about it. So I tend to leave off of that sort of section, as I don't know too much about it. I don't really want to mess it up and make everything look shit. Next we have the Fairlight page, and this is the page where I do the audio editing. This part is very important for when you're adjusting levels and audio and stuff like that, because audio again is a huge part of editing videos, and that's a part that some people overlook, and it really does set apart different videos. If you have a beautiful looking video but you have crappy audio, it's not going to be good for anyone listening on anything half decent, so you have to get your audio right. And within this section I'll be teaching you some small tricks and with stuff in the mixer, as well as the general view. You can record straight into DaVinci Resolve, which I don't really tend to use. I tend to do Audacity and then just sort of export that out. However, I may change that and I may record straight in for some of it. I'll teach you guys how to do that anyway. Right, and then here we have the deliver page. And the deliver page is essentially where you just export stuff. You can view it, and you can choose here like rendering the entire time in the in and out range. And that's useful if you just want to take a bit of a clip and export it out. And then up at the top left here we have all of this stuff here, which I will go through as the video progresses. Right, so let's get into the first part, which is media, actually putting videos in. So guys, on our main page that we have right here that you get when you first open up, now the first thing that I do is I record at 60 frames a second. I tend to export my media at 60 frames a second and 1080p, as that's just the standard of what I record at, as in my monitor is higher than 60 Hz, however a lot of you have 60 Hz monitors, and always it's more pleasing to the eye to look at 30 frames a second versus 60. There's a whole debate on 24 frames a second, but I'm not going to be getting into that. That's what I do, so I'm just going to show what I do. So before you do anything, before you put any clips in here, now this is really important, what you must do is that you must go up into File, then go down to Project Settings, and then 1920 x 1080, make sure it's 1920 x 1080, change the title frame rate, scroll down to 60 frames per second, and the playback frame rate again to type that in 60 frames per second, and then press save. And then that's you sort of set up right now to do video editing. Right, so I've opened up my file explorer. I'm literally just going to drag a video in, the video that I've literally just recorded right now, into the clips and media pool up here, which is copy there, and then that is now in your media pool. Now alternatively, you can just drag it straight into this edit section, and once you've put your first clip in there, you do want to go to the edit section. I sometimes just put it in the edit section. It's honestly up to you, but if you have done it this way, then you can just literally drag it over and put it straight on there, and that's the new edit section. So here you have the video one and audio one, and these are your different video and audio tracks. You can create more. If you right click, you've got add track, and you create another video track, or add, again right click down here, add track, and here's the audio part. Now it gives you different types of tracks, because you need mono, which is really good for recording your voice and stuff like that, as well as some other files. Or you do stereo, which again is obviously stereo, 5.1, 7.1 and adaptive. I would say keep away from these since you're probably not going to want to use them unless you're making a 5.1 or 7.1 surround sound film or video or something like that. Obviously you're going to use them, but if you were going to make that type of thing, you probably would look at a different type of video than this basic one anyway. You're looking at more in-depth audio techniques and video techniques. So yeah, you can create a mono track, and then there you go. That's how to create tracks and how to import media into DaVinci's Resolve. And whilst we're in this view as well, I'll show you how to do fades. So how to fade audio and video is really easy. You essentially see, if you highlight over the clip of your mouse, you'll see there are these two little toggle buttons at the left and the right. Now to fade in, literally all you have to do is do this, click that thing, and move it in. And this plus, that's in seconds. So if I do this, if I go back to the start there you go, that fades it in, as you can see up in the area up here, which is your window that you can use to view the software while editing. You can make this bigger again, which is by what I just did then, by grabbing this bit here and pulling it up and down. So again, start, just press, there you go. And that's a fade of a second and however long. You play with different fade-ins, you have longer ones for the start maybe and shorter ones for switching between clips. And again, here's how to fade audio is exactly the same. It works exactly the same way, and it fades in volume. It doesn't fade in any other effects, like you may have a cut-off or something like that. It just fades in volume at all, so it's just your regular volume fade. And so again, we're going to go on to audio in these main tracks. So you'll highlight over your audio, and around the middle you'll see this little grey bar, and you may be thinking to yourself, oh, this audio is quite quiet. And you want to maybe make it louder or make some clips quieter. So you just click on that bar and you just drag up, and it will tell you how much you're amplifying the audio by in decibels. So again, I've amplified it by 20 decibels right now, which is, I don't know which setup, which is around what I'd say for my personal setup, as it works well. And you can also scrub through, as you can hear there. So that's how to fade in and how to amplify and quieten audio. So now I think next what I'm gonna move on to is if you want to crop a tiny bit of video. Say you've got a video here and you don't want a certain section, you want only a certain section of your screen to be viewed in the video, or maybe you want to zoom in something that you've previously been doing, and that is really easy in DaVinci's Resolve. You literally press this button over here, just click that once, it shows this thing here. You can adjust this on this window on the right in the inspector. You may have to click that up here for that to appear. Mine automatically does. And you can do this by either zooming like that with these tiles, and you can use these to do it precisely, or if you just want to do it freehand, again you can just do it freehand, which is really useful, and I use this almost every single time when I am editing videos. Now you guys are going to absolutely love me for this one, which is how to just chop clips and chop audio, which is it's so easy in this software, and I'm so glad that I found this shortcut. It is really simple. So I'll tell you the buttons, I'll put them on the screen now, or the ones that I am using. Essentially all you have to do to chop a clip is say I'll zoom in, again pressing the plus button here and the minus button here to zoom out. I'll zoom in, say we're editing this bit and we want to chop this bit here and switch to a new type of video. So all you have to do again is highlight both of the clips, or all the clips you want to chop, you press the control button and then this button here, literally, and that's your clip separated chop. Now you can create fades with that again, and these are two separate files within the software now, so you can just move them backwards and forwards along the timeline, all that you want, and that's essentially the clip split. Right, next, so you've been moving your clips around, you've been fading in and out, and you've got yourself a video, and now you want to do your voiceovers. Essentially, if you want to do that within the software, what we have to do is we have to go into the Fairlight section here, and we have to go on to the essentially the audio tracks area. Now, what you're going to want to do is, again, I clicked on a track there. You can also do it through the mixer on the right here. And you press up here, it will say no input. You press that and you click input. And again, up here, you've got these. So essentially, this is for my specific setup, what I have my specific setup. For example, I have analog 1 and 2 Focusrite USB. So for me, I'd click that one, which is the source of the input. And then what I want to do is I want to, again, patch it into audio 2. And you could do it audio left and right, however it's not going to left and right channel, and I want to record specifically to audio 2. I don't want to record on audio 1 because that already had the audio on it there. So once that is patched in, you are patched, and all you have to do now is just close that down, and that's all set up. So to record, all you literally have to do now is press the R button, and this essentially allows you to, you can hear, I'll mute the video, but essentially I can hear myself back now, and this is your little recording bit. So again, if you want to record, you can do it this way, or you can do it, I use a different way. I tend to just record through Audacity and bring it in, which is another thing that I'm going to go on to now. So now I'm back again in the edit area, and when you bring a clip in, I record through GeForce Experience to record most of my gameplays and stuff like that, as it's quite efficient, and you can switch between your desktop audio and your computer audio. It creates two different tracks. Now when you play this, you may sort of realise, oh, you know, my vocals, they're only in one ear, they're only in the left ear. That's because, again, you've done it in a mono channel, and DaVinci Resolve, as well as a lot of other softwares, have the mono channel assigned automatically to the left ear. I don't know why, they just do. So all you have to do is, on your Audio 2, when it comes in, is right click and change track type to mono and click, and there you go. That should be coming straight through the center, straight down center channel, so your voiceovers should be straight down center channel and should sound perfect in exactly the same amplitude through both ears. So now that's the basics of how to sort of edit your videos and stuff like that. Now I'm going to go a bit more into in-depth audio editing. So we're going to go back into the Fairlight section here, and you've got your tracks, obviously your tracks area here, and your mixer here. So essentially you can double click on this, and this is your EQ. So you can do loads of EQ work, so you can cut lower frequencies with this band pass, or you can cut higher frequencies with this band pass, and you can edit stuff and do all of that if needed. And then here we've got dynamics as well, and dynamics is very useful because essentially this is how we're going to control audio. So if you have audio that works quiet in sections and loud in sections, but you don't want to sit there and meticulously go and cut and adjust little amplifications in the audio to make it all sound the same, this is where this comes in useful. So we've got our expander and our gate here, which are both useful for their own things. However, I'm not going to go into depth with that in this video, as most people, as you tend to not need it if you're doing stuff with games, as you've got a lot of gameplay audio in the background, and unless you have heavy like a fan or something in the background, you're probably not going to need it anyway. So you can use a compressor for this if you want to. However, I don't tend to use a compressor. I prefer to use a limiter for this certain situation, as it limits the audio to the max amplitude, so you don't peak or distort the audio. So I tend to use my settings here at -6 dB, between sort of -6 and -10, depending on how far away I'm sitting at the microphone. And once you've done that, you notice the audio may be a bit quieter. And you notice when I move this, the graph moves up at the top left. So let's put it on, again, what I normally tend to use is 6. Here we go, 6. So and then what I do is, if it's a bit quiet, you can turn the makeup up. Now if you turn up too much, you'll get this little red bar here, and that means that you will distort, and you are distorting. So you turn it up sort of as far as you want, if you want it to be sort of, you know, as loud as possible in a video without clipping. So you go sort of up, and then you go maybe 1 down or 2 down, or a couple more down if you want to. And essentially if I play the audio here, and I amplify, get it to a bigger section here, you'll see it will show you the amount of reduction that you have. So for example, if I turn it up a bit more, like here, you saw it have a bit of reduction there, and also this brings up the quieter bits of the audio, which is very useful. So you've got your voiceover, you've got your videos edited, and you've got your audio sorted. Now you're probably going to want to realise, how do I add text or anything like that? So what you're going to want to do is that you want to go into the edit section again, as I just did, and you may have maybe set up like this, stock with DaVinci. You want to open the toolbox here. You can add custom transitions like crossfades. I tend to do this manually myself. And you're going to titles. Now titles, you can do all the different sort of titles. And the one that I use mainly is text. So all you need to do is click that, hold, drag it into here on a track. It can be a track made up, you know, a brand new track that you make, or it can be on another one that you already have pre in there. And so again, up here you can adjust your text in here. You just type in this box here, you know, whatever you want, and you can adjust your font and the rest of that here, which is self-explanatory. I don't really need to explain how to use this, as most of you guys watching now will know how to change, you know, change different fonts and change the size here, which you can change, you know, to huge or tiny, or, you know, wherever you want. So you've got your text, you've got your video is all edited with the start and the finish. So you're all completely done and you want to export it. So now you've got the render entire timeline, or the in and out range, which I mentioned at the start of the video. Again, with the in and out range you can choose which parts of the video you want, so you could say start to here, and you can adjust it both sides, which is cool. However, mainly if you're going to be editing the video, you probably want to do the entire range so you can get obviously the full thing. You don't want to accidentally chop a bit of the editing off. And this part is a very useful part, which I'm going to say now, which not a lot of people actually go into on YouTube, is the export settings. So I tell you how to set it up and they tell you how to export it just as a video, but here's the actual export settings. So the file name and the location, all of this stuff, you can click browse and you can title it what you want, and that's all fine. So for the video section, what you're going to want to do is I tend to export, you can export in the MXF, however I tend to export in either MP4 or QuickTime. QuickTime is high quality in MP4, so I tend to use that when I'm uploading to YouTube. However, if I'm just doing something quickly and sending it to someone, I'll just do it MP4. But I turn up to QuickTime as of now. So we have resolution 1920x1080. Obviously, if you want a high quality video, the higher the resolution, the better you want. But it does come at a cost of, obviously, there is more, the file size will be bigger. And frame rate 60 frames a second here, as we set that as our project. Sometimes that is variable, depending on if you put different clips in and stuff like that. Now quality, automatic best and least, and medium, and you've got all of these. Now these are all really good. Best is a huge file size, so I honestly wouldn't say, unless you're doing something seriously high quality, I say wouldn't go for best, because for like a 10-minute video it's gigs worth when you export. So I'd say go to least, mainly because the video honestly isn't that bad, or you can go to low. Now personally, the settings that I use to export at high quality are, I change it to restrict to, and if the video is, I have a sort of like a rule, but if the video is over 10 minutes I do either 7,000 kilobytes a second, or I do 8,000 kilobytes a second. Now this does introduce some aliasing and stuff like that, however it's not too bad, and it makes the file size, for around a 14-minute video, it makes the file size around 800 megabytes, so it's not too bad. It's sort of, in my Wi-Fi's case, it's uploadable to YouTube. Now you guys that have faster internet, you may just be able to just go automatic, and if you have a lot of space on your computer, automatic, medium, automatic, best, or low, or whatever, and just upload that. It'll take you like 2 or 3 minutes, but it takes me quite a while to update, because it takes me a while to upload, as my internet's shite basically. So here we go. We have the restrict to 8,000 kilobytes a second, and we've got advanced settings here and stuff like that. However, I tend to just leave that as it is, because I just want to export this as it is right there. And so next we're going to go on to the audio. So export audio, we have these parts here. So we've got the bit depth, I'd say again 16, I'd say leave it between 16 and 24 for high quality videos. We have again, we have ASCs, IE, floats, and linear PCMs. Now I'd say if you're going to do like something that's reasonably high quality, I always use linear PCM, as it's a high quality audio file. I think it exports it in a WAV format, I'm pretty sure. Now bit depth, I'd say leave at 16, as you probably, it's 24 and 32. If you're uploading to YouTube, it tends to downscale anyway, so there's no real point in uploading it. It'll just make your file size bigger if you do any bigger bit depth. And you want to have your output track as main one stereo, as that makes sure that everything in the project gets exported, nothing gets left out. Now if you're wanting to just send something on Discord, for example, that's reasonably short, like sort of less than a minute long, or around a minute, and you obviously have a file limit of 8 megabytes, or you really don't have any space, so you want to upload something, export something that's really low quality. Again, you can go onto MP4, and you can change the resolution all the way down to 720x480, or you can even do a custom resolution if you want to, if it's really bad quality, and you can restrict to around, I always think, leave it around sort of 600 kilobytes a second. If you have a video around a minute or less, it tends to be less than 8 megabytes, or around 8 megabytes. So if you want to upload it, to Facebook or anything like that, take hardly any time at all. Obviously the quality of the video is going to be not good at all. However, that's the price you pay for a lower quality file. Thank you guys for watching the video, and if there's anything else that you want to know, put it in the comments, and if I know how to, I will reply and tell you how. Obviously, if not, I'm going to say, you know, I'm terribly sorry, I don't know, because I've been editing with this software about 2 months now, and I mean, I think it's absolutely phenomenal. It does exactly what I want perfectly. And for you guys out there who aren't professional video editors like myself, it will do the job great for you as it's done for me, and it's easy to use. As I've just shown you, it's not a difficult learning curve. It takes a while, obviously, if you haven't started with the software, you haven't ever used it before, or again, you haven't ever video edited. It takes a while to learn the software, however, it doesn't take too long. I mainly cracked the majority of stuff that I've featured in this video within a few days, and I'm not the brightest with learning video softwares. I couldn't get on with a lot of other ones, and I tried to use iMovie before, that's solely on Mac, and honestly I couldn't get on with it. I tried to do stuff, I just found it was clunky, I just couldn't do it, so I just sort of gave up and didn't do any editing whatsoever until I came across DaVinci Resolve, I was told by someone, and ever since then I've just been creating videos for the past 2 months, as you've seen on the channel. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I hope it's been informative for you, and I hope it helps you on your way to creating content.